All right, Casey. So here I am. I'm going to kind of walk you through some of the basic things to edit on your site in case when you want to update maybe some services or you want to update pictures or things like that. So basically, your menu will look similar, but maybe a little bit different just because I'm only a contributor. You're an admin, so you could do a little bit more. But you want to get to the spot on your website where it says Edit Site, and you'll click that. And what it'll do is actually build the visual representation of your website, but give you the editing capability. So we'll get this loaded here real quick, and I'll walk you through how to edit pages, how to change pictures. If you want to add more pages or things like that, I'll show you how to do that. But this will just be a kind of an overview of how to edit the site. So let's see here. This is taking a minute here. Okay, so here we are. Everything's loaded up here. Just thought I'd give you a quick orientation of all the buttons and menus. So up here, if you want to change what page you're looking at, you can just click up here in the edit mode, and it'll take you to the correct page. So that's a fast way. Instead of using your buttons in edit mode, it's better to go up here from the menu and go page to page. And then this menu, oops, come on. So this menu, as you can see, is just another option to go through Save, Preview, and Publish. I typically use the ones over here in the top right, but this is just redundant. You can see here, as well as there's a few other things you can look at that get found on Google. I've already done the SEO walkthrough on here. You don't really need to do any accessibility stuff. The mobile editor we'll look at, which is also in the top right menu. So this is just kind of a redundant menu, but Site Manager, we'll go look at stuff there too. Then the tools menu, and I usually have everything turned on just because I like to be able to have all my tools and see everything. And then help, of course, you could just use this if you wanted to look stuff up. This should be, yep, okay. That's just to hide the controls. So we'll leave those out so we could work with it. This right here, of course, is a magnifier in case you want to, see the whole page at once. I don't know if I've ever used this, but that'll give you, I guess, a bigger bird's eye view of your web page. Mobile lets you see what it looks like on mobile, and you do have to edit for both desktop and mobile. So Wix has some built-in adjustments that make it, that will have it be responsive, but then it actually gives you a little more control to come in here and adjust specific things. I've got some elements that are hidden because they just didn't look good and they weren't part of the good mobile experience. So that's what this toggle is for. You can go back and forth between your desktop and your mobile view. So we'll work on primarily desktop, because looking at the Google Analytics for your site, I think about 70% of your traffic is mobile, is desktop and tablet over mobile. So we'll look here first, but then mobile is important to keep on there as well. So so let's get in here and actually talk about updating things. So the way the website is structured is in these wide bands. They're called strips. See, that's a strip. This is a strip. This is a strip. Strip. Everything is done into these strips. So it's an easy way to organize and to redo things. If you want to change anything, it's pretty nice just to click on it once, and then you'll get change strip background. You could come up here, click on that, and then it's going to take you to background options. So down below are going to be Wix provided ones, which I wouldn't recommend ever really using any of these except solid colors, only because these just look like straight up stock photos. I mean, there's nothing that's specific to your brand. So what you could do is you would click on image, and then you'll pop up here with these tab options: My Images, Social Images, Free from Wix, Shutterstock Images. All the pictures and stuff that I've used on your website, and then I guess I have some old stuff in here too from old websites I've done, are uploaded in here. And yours might look a little bit different if you have, different images on here, but oh yeah, you actually will have more of the media library than I will, because I think I built this under your email address. So anyways, you could just then click on an image, and I'll just show you this to make it to show you what it does. But you would just click on it and you click change background. At this point, I will say it's important to look here. You want to rename these files to be something SEO friendly. So a great way to think about this is, what search terms would people be searching for that you would maybe want to be discovered for, either through Google Images or just through Google search. So we could do something like pool stone contractor. Let's see, pool stone contractor, Dallas, Texas. We'll take this comma out. And they each have to be unique, so you can get creative, or you can just add ones or twos at the end, whatever you want to do. But it's important to name all of your files so that they get the maximum value online. But yeah, if we wanted to change this, then I would just click that. I'll click change background, and then this will update, and you'll see the new strip background. Nice. Now, if you're like, dude, I don't like the way that sits. One thing I will say is we have these things to be stretched, which I've got them going full width because that's kind of how I had to keep it responsive. I've got a 10 pixel margin just to help keep a little bit of flexibility and freedom because every device is going to be different. If you go page, it's going to keep everything tight and inside, and then there's going to be the screen background. So always make sure that you've got the stretch on, which is this icon here. And yeah, there's not a whole lot of flexibility. You could edit the image if you wanted to, but pretty much the image you upload, it's going to fill. And then let's say you're like, ooh, I hate that, I don't want to do that. These arrows are great for undo and redo. So we'll just click undo because we know we don't want this background to be your main background. We'll have to go back a couple times. I don't know how many steps you can go back on this because I don't use it very much, but I would imagine you can maybe do like 10, 15, a good amount. So on all these strips, you can change the background to be a picture, to be a color, to be a pattern. You could download something from the internet and then upload it to your website. If we were going to do that, let me go back here again and just show you if we were to upload something new. You click on the change strip background, click on image, and then up here you'd click upload image. And I'll just throw a picture of this summer camp thing up here. It's going to throw it up into your media library, and when it's done, best practice, just in my opinion, is to go ahead and rename it right now so that you don't have to deal with it later. So for me, this would be like summer camp games, Tulsa, Oklahoma Christian camp. Boom. And then you would click it, and you would click change background. So that's one way to do that. Let's actually go into like one of your work pages. So we're going services. Okay. And let's say you're right here and you want to change what some of the listed services you do is. Wix is very simple in that you just click in the box one time. You can double click and it'll activate it, or just click one time and then you'll get these menu options. Edit text, which is what we'll go into. Animation, help, and then connect to data. So we'll work backwards for some of these just so you can see like if you ever need to do anything with it. This is if you were going to be doing an e-commerce store. So the database connection is really nothing you'll never do. So this is just more of e-commerce if you're going to have Shopify connected or something like that. Help. Again, I don't know if I've ever used this help, but there's going to be a ton of great resources here just because they want to make this as easy as possible for you to use. So don't be afraid to click help. As you can see, it's easy. You just click it. It pops up a little modal window. It's not going to take you away from what you were looking at. And then I'm sure you could just type in questions and it would help you get going there. So what we're really going to look at is edit text. Animation, again, use this tastefully. I animated a few things on the site just to give it focus and attention to specific things, but don't put tons of animation on everything, dude. You don't want your website to look like it's from 2001, and that's what it looks like when people have these things like bouncing and gliding and fading. And if you're gonna do any animation, my suggestion is it should be the same animation on everything. I think I just use a basic fade in on a few things, and so just so everything looks consistent. Be subtle and sparing. with your animations. And these are going to pop up on most everything, not just text boxes, but buttons, strips, background images, everything. I mean, you could do all that, everything. So here we are. We're just going to click Edit Text, and you say, hey, I want to update what this says. Well, as you can see, it's easy to get in here. Property restoration. Let's do. Well, this would actually be comma and property restoration. So there's just your regular text edit. If you want to add in hyperlinks, if you want to change font styles, if you want to change anything here, this is pretty easy to understand and to see. If you're going to change the font color or the boldness, whatever, it's all in this folder here, or this menu here. Things to consider if you don't like the spacing. Again, they make it very easy for you to come here and adjust the spacing. So character spacing is the spacing between each of the characters. Line spacing is the distance between each line. So if it looks really compressed or really spread apart, you can customize that. So most of the time you're going to want to just let it do it for it, and it's going to automatically look good. The other thing to consider, let's see, for your heading tags. Okay, you don't really need to adjust these. This is a SEO thing. So this is an H3, which is like H1, H2, H3. But just so you know what this basically is telling Google the level of priority for your information. And again, it doesn't really hurt anything. We'll make that H2 just because there's a lot of keywords in there. So, so we've made that change. All right. One big thing for you to know is you do want to save as often as you can, only because, especially if you get into a flow, dude, and you're coming through and you're making lots of updates, you are gonna want to save as you go, and then at the end hit publish. That's just the way I do it. So I save basically after each action that I do, and that keeps me so that I'm not messing anything up or not saving changes that I've made. And that's text boxes. That's text boxes everywhere. Literally just a click and then another click. Okay, here you'll see this is unique. This says ungroup elements. What I've done is to keep things easy when I was working around and moving things around the page, I put things into groups, and you don't need to ungroup them. If you want to just edit them, you can just double click into one of the items and it'll give you the ability to then edit things from that group. So once you double clicked into one, whatever's in that group then will be editable. So as you can see, these three things were in a group, and it might have been four because I might have had the strip in there too, but regardless, you can come in here and edit those. I wanted to show you how to edit a button because you might update links as you go, as well as, and there's a little bit of information to see here. So buttons will have the same text, help, connected data, and then animation. Then of course they have a couple of other edit styles. So one here is just the design. You don't need to mess with this, but I'm just trying to give you a comprehensive video for review in case you decide, hey, I want to change these things up. So you can come here and you can select some of the buttons that, oh, come on. Sorry, my computer's being super slow. Some of the other buttons that I have made on your site, or you can check theme buttons, or you can choose customize design, and this is where you would come in and then pick whatever you want to look like. When it's regular, hover is when a mouse is hovering over it, and disabled shows when what it looks like when it's been disabled. So I don't recommend going here and doing this unless you want to figure it out. But just always remember, you can always undo. If you do something you don't like, you can just come back up here, click undo, until it's back to the way you wanted, or back to the way it started. So, but then this chain icon looks like two chains because they're linked. Get it? Is where you would select what this button heads to, or connects to. So right now, this light box, this button is connected to the light box that we designed, your contact light box. You could connect it to another page of your website. So if I did page, we'll click page, and then we could assign whatever page we wanted it to be. If we were going to say, the contact us, that would be that way. But for your site, I made like a custom contact box. So we're just going to leave it there, unless you want to change it. That's how you would do that. So let's scroll down here. So again, we made these little icons, these images for each of your services, and if you want to wanted to adjust things, if you want to replace them with images, all you would have to do is click it once and then click change image, and then you could select whatever new image you want. It would be just like on the background strips. So it'll pull up your media, and then you select your image, and then you click choose image. So boom, there's your Better Business Bureau. But this is actually this is going to be cropped because the way that I had all these set to fit perfect, that Better Business Bureau logo does not match the scale. So you would have to go in and edit that to make it fit. But I don't know if you're going to come in here and want to change these little icons. I doubt that. Let's go back. Okay. Same thing here. So you're going to have change image. You're going to have settings, which this is where you could rename the images here if you wanted to, and you could provide meta description. I did that for you. So you don't have to worry about that, the things that are here, but just showing you again what is on these menu options. Also, you could make these links as well. I didn't do that because I don't like all images to be links when there's also text that's going to be links. I think some people could accidentally hit it not knowing, or like if they're scrolling on their phone, they hit the image, it takes them to the page, and they're going, what happened? And then so, anyways, let's see here. Let's see here. You could change the colors of each of these columns if you wanted to. That's another possibility. So if you ever wanted to put pictures back there, or you wanted to change, you just didn't like the colors, you wanted to change them to something else. All I did, again, just to show you, is come and you just click in the column. Don't click in the text box or an image box, but just the column box, and then you'll get the opportunity to change column background. So you can come up here, change the color. Let's say you're feeling feminine and you're like, I want hot pink. That's what I want. Boom. You got hot pink, dude. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but if you did, that's how you do it. So let's roll this back. Just showing you the options. Showing you all the options you have here. Okay. And then we'll get to the photo albums. So this is on your services page. This is a gallery that we made using a Wix Pro gallery. So in here, if you said, I want to add more pictures, all you got to do is go to Manage Media. So I clicked into the strip, then I clicked Manage Media, and then it's going to pop up, you know, the media library. And let me bring this up just a little bit. And we can come over here and we'll add some images. I think you've added a couple on here. So we'll add that one. And if you hit Control, if you hold down the Control button, you can select a couple, like you can select as many things as you wanted. So I'm just going to select these two because they seem the ones to be most appropriate to add. So we're just going to add 10 and 11 on here. Okay, so we're going to describe this image. We'll call this beautiful pool with okay. I'm just updating this for you as I'm basically the description here. I'm telling Google, if Google was to read, like a voice was going to read this to a blind person, this is what they want here. So I basically try to describe what it is. And it's good practice to do on your images. So boom, we just added those two images into this gallery. Let's see. There's one. Let's go ahead and save this. And then let's preview. I think my computer is downloading an update because the internet is going so slow. I'm on my laptop. Okay, so it's added the extra pictures, and then as you can see here, oh my gosh. Okay, it's added the pictures here, and as you can see, it's just going to give us a slider. So, you can add as many as you want, dude, as many pictures as you want to that gallery, and it's just going to make it slide back and forth. And then you can actually organize those photos to be in the order that you want. If you care, if you're like, I don't like the way that's organized, again, all you do is click into it, and you'll click Manage Settings, or Manage Media, sorry. And then it's literally as easy as dragging and dropping. So let's say we want this to be picture number 2. Boom. Done. I want that because everyone wants to see a pool, and I think that's just beautiful. Good job, Casey. Okay. So, a couple things here on this gallery. When you're right here, your settings here. Let's look at what you can do here. Okay. Let's see, so we've got main. Layout, okay. This is where you could, excuse me. This is where you could adjust how your media library, or how the gallery displays itself. If you want something more traditional, you could go thumbnails, and that'll be one large image above a bunch of thumbnail sliders. Like this. See, so you got a bunch of small ones down here, and then you'll have one big one. You can adjust the spacing. I just didn't like the way this looked, dude. And I don't want to do full spread, and I didn't want to do a small one. So I think collage is cool because it gives you it communicates an overall feel to your visitors. And it puts the most projects on page at one time. And it basically just looks like, wow, this guy does a lot. So anyways, but you can play around with any of these that you want. Feel free. Again, you know where the undo button is. And this is basically settings on when people click on it. I turned off download. I don't know why people would want to download your pictures. You can turn that on if you want. Social sharing's good. We turn that on. Let's see, design. No, we don't want a color overlay. We don't want to display text. Like title and everything. Oh, we'll say this. So image quality, you don't want to adjust this. So I actually turned it up a little bit. I turned it down one because the faster or the higher you punch this image quality, and you can see these are really good image quality. It's negligible to the visual eye, the difference, but load speed is going to be huge. And so if you bump up the image quality, you're going to bump down your load speed, which actually will give you a lower Google quality score. And people are impatient anyways, so don't mess with the image quality. And then store, no, you're not selling anything. Support, okay, that's it. So that's the settings for the media gallery. And then here is same thing. Everything's going to be stretched because we want it to be responsive. So we want it to fit any size screen. If you wanted to, you could just pop it right there, and then you could stretch this out to be as big or as small as you want. But again, I've got it set this way so that it will fit on any screen. We want a 10 pixel margin. Okay, so we've gone through editing text, editing media galleries, editing buttons. Let's see here. Let's say you wanted to add a page. Okay, just to show you again, I'll walk you through. Click up here, and then you're going to click on Manage Pages. You could use these over here too, but it doesn't matter. There's so many ways to work around this. You just have to pick one. So let's add a page. Let's say you're adding a new service. So one thing you could do is drag it, and you want to nest it up underneath services so that it falls in line. It falls underneath the sub menu. And then we would click right here to rename it. We'll call this Casey's Cool Stuff. Okay. And then right here, we're on the page. We can start adding stuff. If you want to change the page design, that's where it's going to give you basically these basic backgrounds. I mean, it's not much. What I would do is, if you didn't want the page to look like anything else, this is how you'd create it. You would create that page, and then you'd come over here, and you would start adding content blocks. So you'd click Add, and then you would add a strip, and then you would add, as soon as these all load, you would add whatever it is you were looking to add. Let's say it's we'll get to like a services. I don't know why all these. Contact, welcome, services. Here we go. Yeah. Let's say we're going to add something like this. Boom. I just dragged and dropped. I clicked, dragged, and dropped. And then you see it right here. So now all I'd have to do is come in here and start editing everything. I could change the background. I could replace these icons. I could change the headlines. I could change the text, whatever. And then when I'm done with that one, then I come back over here, add myself another strip. I want to add more of like, let's see, I'm going to add, I like this 2-block strip. I'm going to drag it and just drop it right here. If my computer wasn't freaking slow, this would load quicker. And then boom, I got my next area that I can edit. So click in here, I can edit the text, I can edit the backgrounds, I can edit these social links, whatever. And you can just keep adding strips in until you get the page that you want. That's one way to do it. If you're saying, I don't want this page to look like anything else, or have a different idea, or whatever. If you're saying, hey, I want it to be consistent with what you've already got built, then this is what I would do. Click back on your menus and pages. Okay. First off, I'm just going to delete this because we don't really like this page. Yes. I'm going to come right here. If I know that I'm just adding another surface page, I'm going to come over here, select one of your service pages, select something that you want to duplicate, and they've got it made real easy here. All you have to do is click that, click duplicate, and it's going to do it. Okay. Copy of property restoration. So now we'll call this Casey's Cool Stuff. Okay, so check this out. Now, that's what the page is named. That's what it is in the menu. But when we click on it, you'll see it looks like it's property restoration, because that's literally what we copied. So then all you would have to do here is start replacing everything with what you want. So you'll click here, we'll double click on the title. We'll call this Casey's Cool Stuff. And come right here. I'll call this all. I cannot type tonight, man. Okay, so we've got that here. You can come down. You can replace your images. You know how to do that. You just click into it. We'll click change strip background. Well, actually, I'm sorry. We wouldn't do that here. Because that's for the whole strip. This is a column. So what I'm going to do is I'm just double clicked into the column, and let me see how I'm going to replace this. Why not? Okay, here it is. So I had to click into the column, and that's where I get change column background. So then that's going to give you the menu option. Come on. I just want to change the background. That's all we're trying to do. Okay. There it is. Oh. So, same thing. Pops up your media library. You can jump over there and change your image. So, you come down here, edit the listings. I don't know why these are not left aligned like the right ones are, but we're going to fix that because that's annoying. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So boom. And then this is where, same thing. This is another media gallery. So you'll come in here, pick the images that you want in relationship to Casey's cool stuff, upload them to the gallery, and then organize how you want them to look. And so then boom, you're cooking with peanut oil. You can add images, which I know that's the big thing you're going to be doing. You open up that thing, then you click add media, and it'll pull up the stuff. It'll pull up the stuff that's already uploaded on your website, or what you'll be doing probably a whole lot is uploading images. So dragging them from wherever they are on your computer, if they're in your downloads file, if they're off your phone, or whatever. So drag them in there, and then organize them on your gallery. So then remember, when you're done here, you're going to click save and publish. I'll just go ahead and do this, and then I'll delete this page. Just so you can see what it looks like. Okay. Alright, now let's click view site. Okay. So, okay, here we are. So I'm going to hover over services. Oh, look, dude, Casey's cool stuff. Let's go see Casey's cool stuff. We just made this page. Can't wait to see how cool it all is. Oh, all my wishes and dreams come true. That's so exciting. Here's the page you just made. Alright. So, I want to make sure I want to go and delete it, because we don't want that really on your site. I'm going to go back here. Okay. And it's literally as easy as this. Manage pages. I'm going to come over here, delete, republish. So, basically, a quick run through again. Anything that you want to edit, you pretty much can. So don't be scared. You have lots of undo buttons. You can go back a whole lot. If you want to replace an image, just click into it, depending on where it is. If it's just a background, click into the background. If it's in a gallery, then you know you're gonna click in the gallery. You're gonna click Manage Media, and then you'll click Upload to add it from your computer. If it's in something like your top, this box here, so this is in a group, just double click and then it'll be editable. Okay, see, then remember, everything in that group is editable: the buttons, the background, the text, and then when you are happy with the changes you made, click save and then publish. Okay? And man, questions you have, please reach out to me. I hope that this was informative. If there is anything specific that I didn't cover, that's where I like to do these in person, or together, so that I know the questions you have. But please let me know, man, and I will be able to take care of any of your questions. So Have a great day. Hope this is helpful. See you later.